The morning sun flooded through the tall glass windows of the Hawthorne estate, but inside the master bedroom, an unusual stillness hung in the air. Adrian Hawthorne, the silent billionaire known for his strict rules, cold composure, and guarded heart, lay on the couch near his study, eyes closed, breathing slow and even. But he wasn't asleep. He was waiting, watching, testing, a test he believed would reveal someone's true nature. He had seen too much betrayal in his life to trust easily, and today he had decided to test the one person he could not yet read, Aria Solberg, the maid's daughter who had recently started helping her mother around the mansion. What he didn't know was that this day would change everything. What he didn't know was that sometimes the smallest, quietest people carried the biggest truths, and what he didn't know was that the test he set for her would shatter the walls he had spent years building around his heart. If you believe kindness and second chances can change a life, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support helps us grow this family of compassion. Adrian kept his breathing steady as he heard gentle footsteps approach. He recognized them instantly. Aria walked softly, as though she never wanted to disturb a living soul. She was 19, slender, with warm brown hair often tied back loosely, and eyes that seemed to carry a quiet intelligence far beyond her age. She had only been working in the estate for 2 weeks, helping her mother, Liana Solberg, with cleaning tasks on weekends and after her classes. Adrian had noticed her kindness toward the elderly gardener, her gentle way of speaking to the cook, her habit of taking a moment to appreciate the flowers outside. She seemed almost out of place in the hard, wealthy world he lived in, but he needed to be sure. He had been betrayed before, by trusted employees, by business partners, by people who pretended to care. He couldn't afford softness, not anymore. So when his assistant mentioned that Aria was assigned to clean his study this morning, he decided to pretend he had fallen asleep during his early reading. He wanted to see who she was when she thought no one was watching. That afternoon, while passing by the garden, he saw Aria bending down beside one of the elderly gardeners, Mr. Hale, who had dropped a tray of tools. She knelt to help him, placing a steady hand on his shoulder. "Are you okay? Sit for a moment. It's warm today," she said with genuine concern. Mr. Hale, nearly in tears, thanked her, explaining he hadn't felt well that morning. Aria ran inside, asked the cook for water, brought it out, and stayed by the old man's side until he felt better. Watching that moment, Adrian felt a pull so strong it left him breathless. This young woman who had so little gave so much of herself without hesitation, and she asked for nothing in return. That was the exact moment he realized she wasn't someone he needed to test. She was someone he needed to protect. That evening, he finally approached her directly. He found her in the study again, dusting the shelves, the same room where everything had begun. "Aria," he said gently. She looked startled, not expecting him to be awake, let alone speak to her with softness. "Sir, good afternoon. I'm just finishing up here," she replied politely. Adrian hesitated, then walked to the desk and picked up the note she had written a week earlier. He had kept it carefully tucked inside a book. "I never thanked you for this," he said quietly. Aria's eyes widened slightly in surprise. "It was nothing, sir. I just didn't want you to be cold or hungry." Adrian met her eyes, something warm softening his voice. "Most people don't think of small things like that." She looked down shyly. "I just believe small kindness matters." Her words struck him deeper than she realized, and in that moment, he made a decision. He offered her a position, not as a maid's helper, but as an assistant in the estate's Community Outreach Foundation. It came with a better salary, flexible hours that supported her studies, and a chance to work in an environment that valued compassion. Aria was overwhelmed, her eyes glistening with emotion, shaking her head at first, believing she didn't deserve such an opportunity. But Adrian assured her gently that he wasn't offering charity. He was offering recognition of her character, her sincerity, and her heart. Over the next months, everything changed. Aria thrived in the new role, helping organize charity drives, community medical camps, and support programs. Adrian found himself inspired by her passion. Her presence brought warmth to the mansion and quiet hope to the lives of many people she helped. For Adrian, she didn't just open a window. She opened a part of his heart he had forgotten existed. And as he spent more time around her, he realized something profound. Kindness wasn't weakness, it was strength, the strongest kind. As the story reached its ending, Adrian often thought back to that morning when he pretended to sleep. He had set a test expecting to expose flaws, but instead he uncovered her quiet goodness, a goodness that changed his life and softened his hardened world. Sometimes, he realized, the right person comes into your life not with noise, not with force, but with a gentle act that feels like a sunrise warming a cold room. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your engagement helps us reach more people who believe in compassion and second chances. Special request: comment kindness wins if you believe small acts can change lives. And so, the billionaire who once trusted no one learned the greatest truth of all: the real test of character isn't in wealth, power, or success, but in how gently you hold the world, even when no one is watching.